Patrick Findaro here, co-founder at Vetted Biz. In today's video, I'm going to go through a really good resource for those that are looking to buy an existing business or even franchise in the United States, and that is the market player BizBuySell.com. Now, BizBuySell.com is a top site for businesses for sale, and they do have a decent selection of franchise resales, but in our opinion, it's an awful source of information for franchise opportunities in the United States. Now, let's start with the positive. BizBuySell has been the dominant force in the business for sale marketplace in the United States for 20 plus years. There are newcomers like Flippa selling websites, apps, but no one has the web traffic and the number of opportunities as BizBuySell.com. Now, they're mostly focused on selling existing businesses, and franchise resales comprise a very small percentage of the businesses for sale on their website. They're part of CoStar, which is a publicly traded company based in my home city of Washington, D.C., and BizBuySell is part of the marketplace division that includes Biz Quiz, Find a Franchise, Apartments.com, LoopNet, as well as Lands of America. It's growing mostly through acquisition, where CoStar has acquired several brands, including LoopNet and BizQuest and other brands that they operate in their portfolio. They're generally not creating brands from scratch. They're usually acquiring and innovating largely through the different acquisitions that CoStar makes. Now, focusing a bit where we are right now in Miami, Florida, BizBuySell has over 1,500 businesses for sale in the state of Florida listed on their website. And there's about 5,000 franchise resales across the whole United States on BizBuySell. Right now, we're going to go through a few of those franchise resales. And keep in mind, this ranges anywhere from a $60 million group of franchise businesses all the way down to a few $1,000s. So first off, you have a Liberty tax for sale just at $5,000. So that's the entry level where if you're looking to get into franchise and you want to buy an existing location, they have a Liberty tax at $5,000. You could probably negotiate and get that down even further. One of the big issues I've been having with BizBuySell, it's hard to navigate the site. It's tough to figure out and sort. There's no feature where you can sort by franchises like some other franchise resale sites have, like franchiseflippers.com, where you can actually sort brand by brand. And then on the other end of the spectrum, $60 million, you have a chain of car dealer franchises that have a bunch of different brands operating across 9 different locations for sale at $60 million. So you can start with a Liberty tax resale at $5K all the way up to $60 million. And between $5K and $60 million, you have about 5,000 franchise resales of all different types of values and brands. But again, it's tough to sort by brand, so you're going to have to spend a lot of time navigating the website to try to find a resale for a franchise that you're interested in. They even have a Popeyes franchise for sale where they have 7 locations for sale for $14 million, and it's trading at nearly 7 times EBITDA. So those 7 locations for sale for $14 million are doing about $2 million in EBITDA and basically earnings. And it's trading for a pretty healthy multiple of 7 times. So if you're looking to get into Popeyes, a very popular chicken franchise in the United States that's growing quite a lot in the US and internationally, this could be an entry, but it's going to cost you. And then looking at 4 franchises for sale that are accessible for non-millionaires, you have a 7-Eleven for sale at $441,000 that has cash flow of over $200K. So not a bad multiple. And the owner is making themselves $175,000 from this business. If you were to open up a 7-Eleven, it would basically be around $400,000 depending on the location. So this could be a good way to fast track the finding the site, build out, and the time to break even by just buying an existing 7-Eleven franchise. They also have a Smoothie Franchise for sale on the website, but they don't disclose the name. It's for sale for about $300,000 and has cash flow of $120K. So again, the multiple is pretty reasonable, especially if it's operated mostly by the owner. However, once you start getting to the sub 200,000, so if a business is for sale under $200,000, I did not find much on BizBuySell that seemed enticing. Most of the opportunities were making 10K, 30K, 40K, or they just didn't disclose any financial numbers, and you're going to have to sign an NDA, reach out to the business seller, the business broker to try to get information on that franchise resale. And you're probably going to come up shorthanded, as most businesses for sale under $200,000, they would have gone first to the franchisor, franchisees, friends and family, then listed on a website like BizBuySell. So under 200,000, there's a bubble tea franchise in Texas, $170,000. It's for sale in Texas, but there's no financials, so it's probably not making much money. And then you do have a donut franchise for sale at $75,000. That does $168,000 in sales, but only $10K of cash flow. So if you're going to buy that business for $75K, you could be inheriting a big issue and become a slave of the business, where there's not even enough margin to really live off the business unless you have a massive turnaround. Now, a lot of people don't know, when there's a transition in ownership, it's pretty common for their earnings to go down 10 or 20% for the first year or so as the new owner gets up to speed on the business, especially if it's a B2B business or if there's some key accounts. There can be some accounts that drop off, or there can be just some issues with the business that hits the bottom line. So if you're looking to get a franchise and invest $200,000 and it has $70K of reported earnings, and you've engaged your accountant, you're working with a corporate attorney doing the due diligence, you should expect to have that drop down to $50K. And you have to still be okay with that, and hopefully it goes back to $70K or even passes $100,000 that you're making per year from that business. But you need to have the expectation that there's probably going to be a bit of a drop from the earnings as there's a transition to yourself, the new owner of that franchise business. Now, also understand different states operate very differently in terms of buying a business for sale. There's going to be a lot of states where you're going to have to go through BizBuySell and other websites, as there's no buy-side broker that's splitting the commission with the seller or the seller's broker. In the state of Florida, there's thousands of business listings, and generally the seller is willing to split their commission. Say they're making 10% on a $1 million sale of a business. They're willing to split part of that, up to 5%, with the buyer broker, the person representing the buyer of the business. That's not very commonplace in states like Texas, Arizona, California, and Nevada. You're kind of on your own, and you're going to have to spend a lot of time networking with business brokers, as well as just reaching out directly to these listings. Now, again, BizBuySell is a good place to start to get your feet wet if you're really looking to buy an existing business. Especially independent businesses, as there's all different industries reflected on that site. But the information they have on franchise opportunities, especially if you're starting a franchise from scratch, is plain awful. So on Vetted Biz, we have thousands of franchise listings. As of the date of this video, we have 3,600 franchise listings. BizBuySell has about 10% of that. So they have a little over 350 franchise opportunities that are seeking franchisees, where compared to Vetted Biz, we have about 3,600. So they're showing you a very small slice of what the franchise opportunities are that are available. Why are they doing that? Because they make money through advertising. So franchisors are paying for banner ads, they're paying per lead generation, and that's what's fueling the money that BizBuySell gets. So they're more focused on appeasing the franchisors or the business brokers or the people selling the businesses than you, the consumer, trying to get information on businesses to buy. Obviously, if you're not reaching out to the franchises, there's no business, so they're going to make at least some information available for you to then reach out and contact those franchises through their portal, BizBuySell.com. And they're really maximizing for lead generation. They allow you to select up to 20 franchises to request more information on. So essentially, they want you to provide your information and then request not just from that one franchise that you sought out, but up to 20 franchises, because they're probably getting $30, $40, $50 a lead every time that someone from their website marks that there's interest in a franchise opportunity. So BizBuySell in theory could be getting about $1,000 for just one lead to their website that requests information on 20 franchise opportunities. Now, are these even really franchise opportunities? This is the part that I don't like, where they're showing businesses under the franchise portal that are not franchises. So they're not protected by the FTC, the franchise rule. They're business opportunities that are really lightly regulated, where the seller of that business opportunity can get a lot more into the details and the financials and how much you could potentially make from the business opportunity than a franchise that's really restricted to what is actually disclosed in item 19 of their franchise disclosure document. So just a quick look, the first 10 franchise opportunities listed on BizBuySell.com are not even franchises. So 5 of the first 10 are not franchises. So about 50% are not franchises when you look at the first 10 entries on the franchise opportunity section on BizBuySell. And that includes different opportunities like Biz Funding Finder, top franchises. I think it's to be a franchise consultant or broker, commercial capital training group. So someone that can fund and basically broker loans to businesses, ideal directories. And then there's a business that is a franchise actually, but has not done very well, especially during the pandemic, and that's Cruise Planners, where Cruise Planners has been ranked #1 in their category on Entrepreneur 500. Shows you kind of how legit that list is, and a top franchise for sale on the BizBuySell section. In 2020, they closed 714 locations. And despite their horrible track record, it doesn't stop BizBuySell from really helping sell hundreds of new Cruise Planners franchises over the past few years, where they've been opening about 200 to 400 locations every year in the United States. So it's been a lot of advertisement franchise portals like BizBuySell that are really pushing this opportunity that does not have a very good success record. But at the end of the day, they're getting paid per lead. And I guess it's up to the consumer to decide if the opportunity is good or not. No? So BizBuySell, I'm happy to collaborate. If there's anyone from CoStar or BizBuySell.com, any of the executives, reach out to me at patrick@vettedbiz.com. Would love to collaborate. Perhaps we could give you some of the franchise data that we have on the thousands of opportunities, and there's some way to work together, as BizBuySell is doing a great job in terms of their businesses for sale, and there's thousands of opportunities, but on the franchise section of the site, it really falls short. And I think it's a big disservice to the prospective franchise buyer, as you're showing about 10% of the opportunities. And those 10% of opportunities are generally franchises that need to be advertising heavily to even get franchisees. So a lot of bad franchise opportunities, a lot of business opportunities that are listed as franchise opportunities. So BizBuySell, good start to find a prospective business for sale. Awful resource right now in its current state for finding a franchise.